Thanks so much, Kim. The number of DUI arrests and crashes spike this time of the year. According to statistics from Mothers Against Drunk Driving, 52% of all deadly accidents around Christmas are alcohol related, and that number jumps to 57% at the New Year's. I think all of us know that we have to be careful, and there's really no excuse. You've got ride-sharing companies like Uber and Lyft, and the cost of a DUI can be about $10,000 here in Arizona. So we did bring in April Schaffroth with the DUI process experts to talk a little bit about DUIs in Arizona and what can happen if you get one. So good morning.
Good morning.
It's great to have you here.
Thank you for having us.
We know a lot of people like to celebrate. This is the time of year, right? Everybody wants to be merry and festive, but unfortunately, it can really be costly if you drink too much and get behind the wheel.
It sure can. So your average cost, like you mentioned, is $10,000 for your first DUI. In Arizona, we're a zero-tolerance state, so it's super expensive and very tricky, even if you have one drink.
And if you look at the statistics, I mean, you know, nationwide, you have tens of thousands of crashes every year, and a lot of those, unfortunately, are because of drunk drivers.
Because of drunk drivers. So holiday season, like you mentioned, that's kind of our Super Bowl for drinking, if you will. So 40% of the alcohol-related crashes happen during the holiday season, but 700,000 accidents happen between Thanksgiving and New Year's. So it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. So the goal and kind of key to success is A, don't drink and drive. And if you do drink and drive, utilize us as DUI process experts to help walk you through.
Let's talk a little bit about, let's say you're going to a holiday party tonight. You think, hey, I just had a glass of wine, but Arizona is a zero-tolerance state.
Right.
So explain to viewers kind of what that means.
Of course. So a zero-tolerance state means you can have a glass of wine, or you can have a gallon of wine, or a bucket of wine. It's all the same. So people say, well, I'm not, I'm going to drink beer all night, so I'm not going to hit the hard stuff, or I might just have one shot. So if it's a 5-ounce glass of wine, or a shot and a half of whiskey, or one beer, that alcohol is alcohol, so it'll all hit your body the same. Your liver takes about an hour to process a drink. So if you go to a cocktail party or a holiday party, you have 3 drinks. Best case, you'd stay there 3 hours, but the odds of that happening aren't. So that first drink really slows your motor skills, it dims your vision, so people feel like they're fine, but when they get behind the wheel, they're not.
And as far as drinking to get to that BAC of the 0.08, it just kind of depends on your body and the person. It kind of varies person by person.
And how much sleep you have, and everyone says, well, I'll eat a lot of appetizers before or drink tons of water ahead of time. That really doesn't do anything. It slows the absorption, but the alcohol is going to get there no matter what. So what's interesting is if you have one glass of wine and drive, you can still get a DUI or get pulled over, not because you're swerving. You could have made a wide turn, or someone could have bumped into you, and if you have alcohol in your body, that's where you can get convicted.
Have you seen DUI cases go down in recent years because of companies like Uber and Lyft?
Well, it's interesting. So you'd think so, but actually it's not the case. So we're partnered with Lyft, and we try to kind of shout through the rooftop, rideshare, Disney driver, but every 51 minutes there's an alcohol-related crash, even though we know the resources are there to provide it.
Let's talk a little bit about if you do get a DUI, you have to have an interlock device in your car.
Yes.
And now there's a new Arizona law that you actually have to be recording at all times when you're in the vehicle.
Yes. So, for example, we are partnered with ADS. It's an interlock company, and they keep this in your car, and you have to blow into it to start, so it doesn't, to make sure you don't have any alcohol in your system. And that camera now is monitored as of July to make sure you're the person blowing it. So that has to be in your car anywhere between 6 months to a year or more. So there's all these different factors. When you get a DUI, you have to get the interlock, you have to get counseling, traffic survival school, insurance. So DUI process experts, for free, we walk these clients through like what you have to do, when you have to do it, and it's super overwhelming, so we kind of help put that back together.
Okay, April, we appreciate it. Obviously, the best piece of advice, take a taxi, have a designated driver, Uber or Lyft, all of those options this holiday season, because as you said, we don't want people drinking and getting behind the wheel, and it can really have costly and very bad effects on your life and your career and all that.
It is a huge life changer for not only yourself, but the people who you cause an accident with.
Okay, April, thanks so much.